to the $100 MBA Show, the business podcast that takes your business into a profitable reality with our daily 10-minute business lessons for the real world. I'm your host, your coach, your teacher, Omar Zenhom. I'm also the co-founder of the $100 MBA, a complete business training and community online. Guys, if you're just getting started with us, check out our free guides. We got great guides on how to create a business plan, how to create a website for your business, how to put together an online course. All these guides are completely free over at 100mba.net/guides. In today's lesson, you will learn, is co-working a good choice for your business? When it comes to finding a space to work on your business, you have a few choices. You obviously have the choice to work from home, or you can rent a private office space, or you can join a co-working space or community. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about what are the advantages of joining a co-working space. Are there any disadvantages? Can working in a co-working space help you and your business grow? If so, how? We're going to get into all the details in today's lesson. So pump up the volume and let's get down to business. Today's episode of the $100 MBA Show is sponsored by Braintree. Looking to set up payments for your business? Braintree gives your app or website a payment solution that accepts just about every payment method with one simple integration. Plus, they'll give your first $50,000 in transactions completely fee-free. Pretty amazing. To learn more, visit BraintreePayments.com/MBA. That's BraintreePayments.com/MBA. First, I want to preface this episode with the fact that I'm recording it in a co-working space. Nicole and I spend a couple months out of the year in Sydney, Australia, and in that time, we need to find a space to work. So we found one, a co-working space here in Sydney, Australia. There's plenty of them, but the one we chose was Fishburners, if you want to check it out if you're in Australia. And we've had a valuable experience so far, and I want to share it with you. I also want to share with you some of the advantages if you're thinking about joining a co-working space near you. Why would you do this? Why would it help your business or help you as an entrepreneur? Now, obviously, working from home is the most cost-effective way to do things. You're already paying for rent. You're already paying for an internet connection. Your commute is like 1 minute, right? Or a few seconds. You got coffee and tea and all that stuff. So obviously, working from home is a viable option for many of us. But there's some advantages you might be missing out on. Some pretty big advantages if you're not in a co-working space. Now, obviously, there's another option. You can obviously rent out a private office where you go in, you do your work in your office, and then you go home. Now, regardless of what you choose, whether it's a private office or a co-working space, a lot of people like having a space to go to work. Even if you're working from home, I really recommend you have a separate room, a room which is an office, to separate work from life, or to put it in better terms, to separate work from relaxation. You need to know when to shut off. It's something that I've been trying to work on for some time. So let's talk about working at a co-working space. The first thing I want to mention is there is a huge financial benefit. Most co-working spaces are pretty affordable, and they usually have at least two pricing models. These are the two most common pricing models. One is having your own desk or dedicated desk. It's the same desk you would go to every single day, and you could store things there. You could leave your monitor there. The other one is a free working space, meaning that they have some open areas, some open tables and desks and chairs and lounge areas where you can work from. You don't set up really with a computer. You can just grab your laptop and get to work. And it's pretty much the only difference in most spaces. You're part of the same community, you have the same facilities, same internet access, but that's how they usually tier off the pricing. And it's pretty affordable. Nicole and I are paying around $300 each a month to be part of Fishburners. That's pretty cheap for an office space. I mean, if you're going to rent out a private office, we're talking about thousands. So it really helps you get going, especially at the start when you want to keep costs low. So other than costs, what else? I think the biggest advantage of being in a co-working space is that you're a part of a community. Often in these co-working spaces, and depending on size, you have dozens or even hundreds of different businesses getting to work every single day. You're meeting a lot of new entrepreneurs just like you. And it's a great place just to make friends and get to know people that are doing similar things as you are. It's also good to network and see how you can help each other out. You might be a designer that can help out a developer. You might be a sales expert that can help an artist get their business off the ground. The point here is that you can discuss and talk and mingle and network with people pretty much every single day over lunch or over coffee. And it allows you to have that camaraderie that you normally have at a workspace. Except this time, you love coming to work because you're working on your own thing. So the community aspect is huge. You get to share ideas, you get to make friends, and you also have access to people that can give you feedback on your ideas, on your logo, on your website, on your pricing model. My advice is if you're going to be part of a community in a co-working space, be as helpful as possible. Be first to introduce yourself, and you'll find your helpfulness and friendliness will reward you in the long run. All right, here's a third benefit of a co-working space. It gives you a consistent routine. Now, a lot of people, when they make the transition from working a 9 to 5 to building their own business, they find it very hard to have a routine, to get up in the morning and get to work on their business. They don't have a structure to their day. And something as simple as having a place to work, actually having a commute, going somewhere every single day, can allow them to have structure. And they can set their own hours, whether that's 7 to 3 or 9 to 5, whatever they want. But the point here is that it allows them to have a consistent routine. And the routine allows them to be consistent and allows them to progress in their business. I see a lot of new entrepreneurs that quit their job, they start their business, and they're working from home, and they're just simply distracted. Whether it's just what's going on at home, or Netflix is too much of a temptation, or video games, or maybe just sleeping in. If you're the kind of person that would like some structure, then having a place to go to, a co-working space, which is very cost-effective, is a great solution. Number 4, there's also some really great professional development opportunities. A lot of these co-working spaces, they offer a lot of great workshops, a lot of classes, a lot of guest speakers. Often these sessions are offered by the members themselves, so you can offer a workshop of some sort. But the point here is that you could develop and get these development opportunities by just being part of this co-working space. It's one of the benefits they have listed in their marketing besides the free coffee or tea or the ping pong table. Number 5, a co-working space can be a great place for you to find your next business partner or your next employee. Often in these co-working spaces, like in Fishburners, you're part of a mailing list or you're part of a group, and you see people posting jobs or looking for a partner or looking for a person with specific skills. You could do the same, or you can apply to one of these positions. The point here is that people are always looking to collaborate, and you're going to be available to opportunities you didn't see before because you're part of this community. Also, it's a lot easier to work with somebody when they're sitting right next to you. So that's a pretty big advantage. All right, I got 2 more benefits or advantages you may want to look at, and I'll share a little bit of the disadvantages you may have to consider. But before that, I got to give love to today's sponsor, ActiveCampaign. Guys, we use ActiveCampaign for both $100 MBA and Webinar Ninja because we love the way they make marketing automation so easy. In fact, companies that use marketing automation, they see 53% higher conversions than those using traditional email marketing. You see, ActiveCampaign enables you to send intelligence-driven emails. That means you can send emails based on what your customers do, their actions and their behaviors. That means you're treating your customers as unique individuals rather than just sending everyone the same message. Talk about treating your audience and customers right. Plus, their templates are beautiful, they're easy to use. This platform doesn't require you to have any hired consultants. You can set it up all yourself. I set it up myself. It was super easy, and their customer support is fantastic. See why thousands are upgrading to a more intelligent marketing solution. Sign up for a free 14-day trial right now. No credit card is required. Just visit activecampaign.com/MBA. No training fees, no contracts, and there's pricing that's accessible to any size business. But you can get started for free right now. Just go to activecampaign.com/MBA. Guys, we got a couple more advantages I want to discuss. And then, are there any disadvantages to joining a co-working space? All right, number 6, it's a great place for you to give back and share what you're working on, what your business is all about. For example, Nicole and I are going to be giving workshops on webinars and podcasting here at Fishburners. It allows you to practice your communication skills. It allows you to also talk about what you do. Maybe some people will be interested in what you do or buy your products or services. Your product might help their business in some way. You can also open these workshops to the public so the greater community can come and join your event. And a lot of co-working spaces don't charge anything to do that. That's awesome. Lastly, one of the advantages I really love about a co-working space is that it's scalable, meaning that if you just need 1 or 2 desks right now, but your business grows, your team grows, You can easily grow that office space easily and have 3 or 4 or 5 more. Just let them know so that you can join the waiting list if there's a waiting list. But the point here is that you don't have to buy an office space thinking about the future. What if your office space is too small for next year? You got to keep moving. That's not great. So co-working spaces are very scalable for your business. So if you grow, they can grow with you. All right, so are there any disadvantages to joining a co-working space? Well, I wouldn't call these disadvantages, but there are more things you have to look out for. One, co-working spaces can be quite social. That means it's not a super quiet place. It's not noisy. There's a special lounge area in most places, and that's where people just discuss and have lunch. But it's an open space. People are having discussions at their desk. So if that's something that you're not really into, you may need to consider that. You may want to just grab some really good headphones and just plug in when you're working. Again, I don't want to make this sound like you're in a rock concert. It's not super noisy, but it's also not super quiet. And remember, a lot of these spaces have meeting rooms. They have smaller rooms. I'm in a small studio type room as I'm recording this. So there are places where you can meet and have discussions in a quiet area. The other thing you got to look out for is that because you're working with other people that are excited about their business and they're eager to socialize and help each other out, you're going to have to regulate that. You're going to have to keep yourself from just hanging out with people all day. In a lot of ways, sometimes I feel like I'm back in college. But I was a lot younger back then, and I probably didn't manage my time as well as I should have. I hung out way too much. But as somebody older building my business, I got to be a little bit more disciplined and say, hey, I got to go, I got to get back to work. But I still allow myself that time to socialize because it is important to network. Guys, the reason why I did today's episode is because I really wanted to make sure you know that this is an option that could really help you out. Not only is it affordable, but you might find the community aspect, the professional development opportunities, the fact that you can scale with it might be exactly what you're looking for. All right, guys, that wraps up today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love to hear it in an iTunes rating and review. If you're on your iPhone, just click on the cover art. You'll see a link that says give us a rating and review. Click on that link. The rest is a piece of cake. Or just go to 100mba.net/review. That wraps up today's lesson. But before I go, I want to leave you with this. Working at a co-working space for me was a little bit of a change of pace. And it takes you a few days to get your groove, maybe even a week, to find your spot, to find your timing, what's the best time for you to come and kind of work. I find that early mornings are really good for me. It's kind of quiet here and I get to record. So whenever you're making any kind of transition in your workspace, whether it's going from a 9 to 5 to working at home, or going from working at home to a co-working space or a private office, know that that first week it's just not going to be that efficient. It takes you time to adjust. All right, guys, it was great hanging with you today. I'll check you in tomorrow's episode. Until then, take care.